I'll be very brief. I think, we're a three-point shooting team, and what I wanted our players to learn, what I told them in the locker room, I think Xavier started 4 for 16, and we started 3 for 15. I'm gonna be honest with you, the 15, like the looks we got, are shots we've made all year long. Tonight we just didn't make them. And I'm not saying we wouldn't have gotten beat. What they've done to their last now 5 opponents, they were up 30 in all 3 games or close to 30 in their tournament. Against Alabama, Southern Cal, and Dayton, is that right? They were up 30. Western Kentucky, I think, got to 30, and then obviously tonight. I mean, they are a very, very good team, and what I respected about them is they never changed the emotion. They don't play the game emotion. They play like, from an emotional standpoint, they played like pros. Like when they played like adults play the game of basketball. Oh, I'm missing some shots, just keep playing. And give Xavier a lot of credit. They're very, very well coached. And I've always said this, what Chris has done, I don't like, from a national standpoint, he doesn't get any near the recognition he deserves. Chris is a terrific coach. Give them credit. They're playing very, very well right now. But I felt like, it wasn't closer. I mean, it was 12-8, I think, with like 11 to go. And our guys, we were coming back to the huddle. You would have thought it was 31-8 already, because we were missing shots. And there were a couple of them where I felt like it was the ball. I lived in Boston when I was younger. I thought it was the Boston Garden in the 80s, where like your ball would get kind of in the back of rolling around the rim, and it would just pop out. And so for me, it was rough. But I'm not upset with our guys. Credit Xavier. We'll bounce back. We'll play better against our people moving forward.
Questions?
Coach, how much did it affect you to have Benzinger and Farina have those first half fouls?
Oh, a lot, because then they got a little emotional, which, Grant, it's a rule of thumb, okay? When you're a local player, even though Grant's an hour away, and you come back and play in your hometown, you either hit a home run or you strike out. That's normally what happens, and that's not a knock on Grant. Benzinger's been great for us. He's had a remarkable year and a half so far, but certainly hurt, especially because this was the first night for us where Mike was finishing his shots down low. And it gave us a really good inside threat that was getting us the threes that we were missing.
So did you feel like the fouls was more frustration?
I'm not going to comment on officiating. I think enough guys have done it. I'm not going to comment on officiating. I will say this, like for our program to move forward, every place I go, like, they don't lift weights at Xavier, they eat weights. And it's, if you want to try to get to the level of other people, you got to figure out what do they do that, clearly you don't. And just from a physicality standpoint, they can knock you off. And I'm not saying illegally, because if a guy weighs 30 more pounds than another guy, you're going to have problems. And it also makes you more athletic and all those other things. So I thought that bothered us too. In terms of the officiating, I'll go back and review the film, but I'm not going to say anything about officiating when the score's 90-55.
What do you feel like you need to do to get the offense going?
I think you always, as a coach, you got to do the best you can to grade the shot, the caliber of shot, and who's shooting it. And I'll go back and review the film, but I thought when it was a close game, we got really good shooters, really good shots, and they just, tonight they didn't fall. And if I'm wrong about that, I'll certainly reevaluate everything we do after I review the film tonight.
Anything else?
Thank you all.